Well, now I'm getting used to my husband following me around with a video camera, just looking at what I'm doing during the day. I happen to not eat a big enough breakfast, so I'm cutting up a cucumber. I'm putting a little almond butter on it. This is a great snack, very satiating. And again, you have a little bit of protein, you have a little bit of fat, you have some cucumber. All right, cucumber, not the highest in nutrients, but they're really cleansing. They're really good. And they're actually in this thing called alkaline versus acid, which is something I'm going to be talking about later. But I know why my husband's following me around with the video camera today, because a few minutes ago, we were just talking about an email I got from the tip of the day. And just if you don't know what the tip of the day is, it's a PEERtrainer tip of the day. We give out really helpful ways to lose weight, get back into your size 26 jeans that you know you want to go out and see. And
it's really interactive.
Exactly. I send emails back. I send responses back every day to questions that so many people have. And what we realize is that, well, you're just sending it back to this specific person. It'd be great to make a video about it. So yesterday, somebody asked me how to quit coffee. They were in our PEERtrainer Spotlight, which is a group of people interacting and sharing diet information. And she said, I've got to quit coffee. I know it's not good for me. And she asked somebody, hey, how do you do it? And that person said, well, I wean myself off. I have a smaller cup, the next day. I have an even smaller cup the next day. And she said, do you have any pointers? And I will say, personally, I have some pointers. And that just panned to my husband's coffee, which I don't drink. I used to drink at least 2 cups of coffee, huge things of sugar and cream. It was more like a sugar and cream cup versus coffee. It just had a little bit of a splash of coffee. And I decided to quit, not because there's so many different controversial things about whether coffee is good or bad. I decided to quit because of my huge cream and sugar habits. That was my thing. It took me a full year to quit, but what I realized for me was that I would do better having a replacement. So I replaced my coffee, I'm a little hungry here. I replaced my coffee with some black tea with sugar. Well, what was good about it is I no longer put the cream, and I sort of did that for a year. But what I just recently did is I switched to green tea. I'll show you. This is really good stuff. It's green ginger tea from Tazo. It's a little expensive. You don't need to get it. I do that though because that's sort of my, indulgence. And if I actually went to Starbucks or went somewhere, it costs a lot more. But what happened to me was that I got my energy back. I started thinking sugar was really a beast. I started looking at it like I have to slay the beast. Right. And I realized that my tea with sugar habit had actually stepped up to 5 cups of tea with sugar a day. So
was this stew? Did stew really trigger the green tea thing, or how did how'd you get from black tea and sugar to green tea? How'd you do that?
We recommend this book in PEERtrainer called Slow Burn. It's by Stu Middleman. And just a brief thing of Stu, he's a world marathoner. He holds a world record. He has
ultra marathon. He has like 100-mile crazy stuff.
Exactly. He's run, I think, 2 marathons a day for 50 days straight. That's 52 miles a day over for 50 days straight, and still walks and has energy. And so he's really an admired guy. And he wrote about, sort of what coffee can do to you, and also not coffee necessarily, but the acid. And he started talking about when your body is flushed with acid, it can really take away your energy and it can leave you depressed.
And certain foods are considered acid, and it's kind of controversial, but certain foods are acid, other foods are not.
Alkaline.
Almond butter, cucumber, and green tea is alkaline.
Non-acid,
right.
Yes. It might sound a little confusing. I'm kind of throwing a lot of information here.
Right.
But what I really want to focus on here is what I found to do to quit coffee successfully. I did it cold turkey, and then I had a replacement. It might not be good for other people. Some people get these blinding headaches, and the headache is so overwhelming that they say, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that you find out what you can do for yourself and what is going to work for you, that once you've made that decision, you're going to be successful. It took me a full year to quit coffee. A full year, and I'm not embarrassed to admit it. You know, sometimes things take time. Sometimes you just aren't really ready. You think you've made the decision, but you're not. Or sometimes you learn some different information and say, you know what, I'm not really ready to do it. But the most interesting thing is when I wrote this email back saying find a replacement, she wrote me back saying, oh good, well I'm going to replace it with a protein shake or orange juice. And I said, no, please. That's adding so much sugar and so many calories. And I don't even know if she's, you know, drinking coffee with no sugar. So when you find a replacement, green tea is a great replacement. Water with lemon, you know, or black tea if you're, you know, you're going for
the green tea is really good. I mean, you know,
There's a lot of benefits
also,
to it.
I mean, it's just sort of endless health benefits of green tea.
There are, and,
Yeah.
and you're absolutely right. And what I found is the most important tip, if you didn't listen to anything I said here, really pay attention to how you feel. I did not feel good with black tea. Other people might. Coffee might not bother people. There is so much conflicting information, so many good benefits to coffee that you hear about, so many bad benefits for coffee. I personally knew that it wasn't okay for me, and I actually lost 7 pounds after I quit my coffee, cream, and sugar habit. But then I was depleted of energy with black tea. So green tea, my green tea habit now has given me a lot of energy, which is why I'm sticking with it. So the most important thing, how to quit coffee, either find the way that's good for you. If your headache's too blind and you're going to go and you're not going to do it, it's not going to work for you cold turkey.
Yeah.
So my whole thing was this. That's how I did it. I went totally coffee free, switched to black tea. Then I switched from black tea to green tea. Now I drink green tea all the time. So.